I think we've had enough waiting around. It's about time to get ourselves ready. Welcome, everyone, to the Prodigy Racing Association's Vision Corsa Tuesday Night IndyCar Racing Series. Thomas Cuthbert here, also known as Orion. I here with you today as we are here for week 4 of our IndyCar series in the Prodigy Racing Association. Like we're going to do every single week, quick rundown of the league for those of you not so familiar with how we roll. It's a 50-50 mix of road courses and ovals with the Dallara IR18. Some good old open wheel action. A total prize pool of $375 at the moment. First place gets $130.75 to second, 40 to third, 20, then 10. You get a $50 prize for scoring the most points in an oval race. That'll come up today just a little bit. And a Daytona race prize, $50 and a winner take all in the All-Star race. We'll get to that in a moment. Tuesday nights, we're going to run this one. This is on Eastern Standard Time, as you'll see with all the time zones. It's on realistic weather, so any sort of weather condition can come up at any time. All depends on how the track itself is doing in the real world. 75% fuel capacity, but 100% of engine power. So these guys are going to rip, and they're going to have to pitch, so a little bit of thinking's involved as well. All tires are available for all drivers. They'll all get one fast repair because sometimes a bad crash is going to happen, and given that we have the wide range of skill level across the field, it wouldn't be fair that only the guys who aren't stuck in a big crash get to keep racing and fight for a chance. Oval races are going to have a green-white checkered. One is available alongside the Lucky Dog and Wave Around rules. The start and restarts have been changed to both be on the iRacing green only. There was an attempt to keep it to just the lead car as far as the restarts were concerned, but that had to be changed due to Kansas, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been Road America, but I'm fairly certain it was Kansas that caused that. Point system. Top 5 qualifiers will get points. It won't matter as much today, as oval is a lot more difficult to really maintain your pole position. Yes and no. Like, when you get pole position, can you hold on to it in oval? You can, but it's a little bit less impactful compared to something like a road course. You get 45 points for winning the race, 40 for scoring second, and then you'll drop a point per position from there until you just don't have any cars left. You get a bonus point for leading a lap, a bonus point for leading the most laps in the race, and a bonus point for racing the fastest lap on the board. With this being an oval race, this will come into effect. 5 points will be available at the halfway point for the leader of the race. And last point provisional points are active for this race. As we keep on rolling, there will be 4 events featuring double points, which are 2, 6, 8, and 12. And severe caution violations can lead to you getting sent to the garage and given last place provisional points, I should say. As far as the cautions are concerned, ovals will use the iRacing caution system, which will be for today. iRacing's caution system sometimes it's a little bit hard to read. It's usually pretty good because a lot of times oval crashes often will result in over 10 cars getting taken out. I personally witnessed one, actually. Prepping for an event, we simulated a run of what Miami might look like. Spoiler alert, of what it might look like, and the one time that it crashed, that anyone crashed, it took out half the field. So usually the iRacing caution system will throw a flag out for that because there's very few cases otherwise. Multi-car crashes would result in one for the road course. In the PRA caution system, that's not important for today. And the caution laps are going to count with the exception of the All-Star race. We're not there. And a failure to yield under caution will get you black flagged for a lap, and ending another racer's race is getting you parked and given last place provisional points. As far as our races for this overall season, we're going to Homestead for today, and I've got a little video for you on that as well. We'll go to the Indy Road Course next week, and then the Indy Oval the week after that to finish up the first half of the season. Now, let's talk about Miami, shall we? And we are green flag racing at Sebring, and immediately a move being made by Nicholson. The Prodigy Racing Association has seen plenty of action across several of the tracks that Florida has to offer. Their GT3 series not too long ago not only took their talents to Sebring, but of course said hello to the Daytona Road Course, home to the Daytona 24-Hour and the Daytona 500. Sebring, of course, also does have its own special event, the Sebring 12-Hour, and members of the Prodigy Racing Association have taken part in all 3 of these special events.
But there is one more track that Florida has in iRacing that the Prodigy Racing Association has yet to race on until today.
Green, green, green.
Homestead, Miami. Typically home to the NASCAR races for its Xfinity, Craftsman, and Cup Series, IndyCar has still seen plenty of history at the Homestead, Miami track. The track is soon to celebrate its 30-year anniversary of opening its doors, as it started on November 3rd, 1995. But the IndyCar Series wouldn't see its first action on the track until 1996, with Jimmy Vasser taking the first ever victory at the track. It would serve as the season opener for the IndyCar Series in 2002 to 2008, becoming a night race in 2007 as well. The IndyCar Series would end its history at Homestead, Miami for the foreseeable future with the Café do Brasil Indy 300 in 2010, won by Scott Dixon, who was joined on the podium by Tony Kanaan and, you guessed it, Danica Patrick. While the Prodigy Racing Association has been to a Florida track several times in the past, both for special events and for its own league races, this will be the first ever event at Homestead, Miami, whether it's the oval or the road course. And with the way that the standings have played out, this race could go one of two directions for the rest of the season. Currently, George Griffith stands alone at the top with 187 points. The next best driver sitting at 149, held by Marlo Duncan. Is this a race where Griffiths can show his strength on the oval and extend his lead even further? Or will it be a potential for an upset and make the gap between first and the rest a little bit tighter? No double points will be on the table for this race, but that shouldn't stop these drivers from putting on quite the show. But enough preamble. It's time to etch another notch in the history of Prodigy Racing Association as we get our first look at these drivers at Homestead, Miami.
That's right, everyone. It is Homestead, Miami on the board for today. 60 laps, around 1.5 miles of the open wheel oval setup. And I hope y'all are ready because this is going to be interesting. Fun little history fact as well for Homestead, Miami. When it initially started, well, it started in 1995 as a rectangular quad oval, which was a choice, but its bankings were very flat in 1997 when it went to a more traditional oval. It was about a 6-degree banking. Renovations in 2003 then made that 20 degrees at maximum. Let's just say it helped. Let's get to our drivers for today. We have on the board Min Hang with Daniel Borgert-Pepping, Richard Murray, Vitor Guilherme, Landon Lacey, Cody Linscott, Joe Norton, and Austin LeBlanc as our first set. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11. The number 12 car, Marlo Duncan, as mentioned in the intro, currently stands at second place. Andrew Clark is number 13. Jimmy Sallow, number 14. Aaron Fontaine drives the 18. Mitchell Hamilton, the 21. The 025 is our current leader, George Griffiths, and the 25 is Adam Miller. So if you remember from Kansas, got the 5 bonus points for leading halfway through Kansas, but ended up needing to pit, and it cost him the race. Kyle Deckard finishes up our first section with a number 26. Aiden Hill drives the 27. The Rodney Roberts 29 car will be out today. Jeffrey Goodpaster drives the 33, and Javier Lopez the 36. The 45 car is driven by the Season 2 champion Alex Jones, although that it's likely going to change as far as the next champion is going to be. I don't think we're going to see a repeat based on how the standings have looked, but you never know. Nick Collier drives the number 55, Parker Dime the 57, Morgan Smith the 58. The 61 is driven by Fozzie Fazzillo, the 64, Byron Bailey. The 77 car driven by Matthias Marcumini. Jacob Schneider drives the 81. Daniel Blanco, the 82. Joey Kuba is driving the number 93. Spencer Torrance, the 120. Austin Diltz, the 144. And to wrap it on up, Brandon Farley drives the 327. Brad Marath, the 384. 2 new drivers enter the fold for the Prodigy Racing Association's IndyCar Series in Season 3. The number 22 car will be out on the track, driven by Matthew Morgan. And Guillermo Pare will hit the track as well. We're driving the 52. And with that, it's time to look at our standings at this current moment. We saw in the intro video, this is what our first set of standings look like. This is your top 10 George Griffiths leads the pack with 187. Marlo Duncan at second with 149. Adam Miller rounds out the top three with 144. Schneider and Hill at 134 and 133. The rest of your top 10 goes Joe Nerton, Brad Marath, Byron Bailey, Rodney Roberts, Brandon Farley. For the top 20, Jimmy Sallow rocks the 11th position with 120 points, and Spencer Torrance is the last driver in the 100-plus point category, picking up 116 up to this point. Min Hang, Nick Polliard, Landon Lacey, Matthias Marcomini, Daniel Blanco, Aaron Fontaine, Alex Jones, and Parker Dime round out the top 20. And the final 5 racers that have registered points for this series: Javier Lopez with 34, Austin Diltz 31, Morgan Smith 26, Fozzie Fazillo 25, Mitchell Hamilton 23. And that brings us to our practice session. We don't have everyone on the track as of yet. And we've got some drivers that are heading into the pits, but we do have plenty that are on the track. So let's head to the track. Welcome to Homestead, Miami. We're currently having a look at the number 22 cars. It's Matthew Morgan on the track for the first time this season in an all-blue, gorgeous beauty. Let's make sure everyone's getting the livery that they should have. So things are just going to... Oh, we need an update. Okay, things are going to look a little bit funky for a bit. Pieces are downloading, so please wait. We're going to do a good old classic Control R. This is the way to refresh your paints if you're rocking trading paints. And there you go, the Pepsi logo. You'll just need to wait for it to update. And also the sun is not helping us here. So Matthew Morgan riding the Pepsi. And we've got a few other liveries across the board, I would imagine. Guillermo Perret is also here in the 52 car, but he's in the pits right now. Here's Joe Nerton in the number 10 as we get to see behind him. Currently the 6th best time on the board. It's actually George Griffiths who leads the pack. This is, of course, the practice session, so how much this is going to hold up is a little hard to tell. No, someone took the wall. That's not ideal. As far as today, welcome Vitor WG Nesquik. Thank you very much for the follow as of 28 minutes ago. Right on time. Nice. The kind of way we want to be. And so, at this point, Nerton has slammed into the wall. Suboptimal, to say the least. You don't exactly want to do that. Vitor Guillermo is on the track, which is good to see. These guys have some great liveries as well. We're not going to show the sauce. We're just going to let the TV cameras figure it out. The setting sun is making it a little bit more difficult to see everything, but cleaner energy is the livery on Guillermo's car. This track is just gorgeous. It's an intermediate speedway, so you won't be able to go fully flat the entire way around. There will just be a tiny bit of lift, as we'll get to see as we go to the roll bar of ours. Never mind. How about the 25? Got a little bit of a lift and a downshift down to 5th gear as you wash out all the way to the outside. The car's gone on the inside and seems to be slowing itself down, letting other cars go by. Adam Miller right now, 0.2 of a second behind rather. The fastest time of Griffiths. And just now, Laura May, 40:15. Welcome in, and thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the PRA Network. This is the IndyCar Series. It's Season 3, as we're at Homestead, Miami, for 60 laps, 90 miles. Well, let's get the board up. That's more like it. All right. There's our track overlay, and we are all set. We've got a crash on the board. That is Jimmy Sallow. That has gone down. We see the smoke, and someone's blinking. Not ideal. Gonna do a little bit of tweaking with the board here. We won't need to worry about our fastest times today, as this is, well, it's an oval. So the fastest time, you can figure that one out a little bit later. Gap and interval will stay. We do not need the car for the action. This will be pit stop status. Yes, we will keep that, as the pit stops are important for this race. Currently, we have 16 drivers who have hit the track, and hopefully we'll get to see a few more. Joe Narton has taken up that second spot at the moment. As we will get the fastest laps back on here because they are important for at least later. 24.920 for Griffiths, the only driver to have broached the 24s in any capacity. Of course, 24.92 is effectively a 25, but it's below. What do we have going on here? Okay, that's other stuff going on. Understandable. Okay. Looks like it'll be a pit stop coming in from Adam Miller. Understandable. Is Perret out there? He is. What a livery. White and... it's the Alpine livery. Oh, man, I was deceived. It is a good livery, though. They're like, oh, hello? What has happened here? What are we doing? He's going to pit. Okay. So this is the way to pit. Remember, we are on the open wheel oval setup, and what that means is, can we get the right view when we pop on out? This is not quite it. Neither is that. Suboptimal, I would say. Can we... I don't think I can force it. I have to just wait for the rotation. That Perret heading to the pits. We got Griffiths coming back out on the track. The idea with the open wheel oval setup is that because these cars would launch themselves into the barricade or another driver if they ever touch the apron, you can't go into the pits from the end of turn 3 and 4. You have to go on this back straight because it's much safer that way. But it takes you a longer time because you're on a tighter turn to have to go around. So Griffith's trying to extend his lead on Nerton here in the practice session. There's going to be, of course, quite a few crashes on the board as these drivers try to acclimate to Homestead, Miami. And I believe, based on what I know, we are in for a night race. Partly cloudy right now. Do we have any information on what the time will be in the track? Doesn't look like it. As for the forecast, you'll all be happy to know it is completely clear skies. And we will be having a night race. Qualifying will be sim time 7:40, and the race time will be 8 p.m., which, if I'm not mistaken, will give us some good old night racing. That'll be fun to see. Homestead, Miami under the night lights is gorgeous, to say the least. Especially with the visual update. So for now, we'll just settle in and wait for everything to finish itself out. We're about 4 minutes left in the practice session, so we'll get to see everyone in their qualifying times. As Griffiths is just mainly trying to extend his lead. Welcome in, Amelia. Nice to see ya. Oh, that's okay. Griffiths is going for a tumble. Oh, boy. Suboptimal. And that car is destroyed. Alrighty. Not what you want to see. Yeah, things are not exactly optimal. But that is like that. Is he just going right back out? I didn't think so. He very nearly missed his box. Are you even in a pit box? Okay, you just vanished. There we go. Matt Morgan. Who is that in front of him? That is Jacob Schneider. Good to see him back on the track. We missed him last week, as he was fighting for the second spot against Griffiths, but because of his lack of, because he didn't show up for the Road America one or register for the LPP, he ended up with no points out of it and is down quite a bit, down to 4th place, and is, unfortunately for him, around 40 points back of the leader now. The leader who had a spectacular-looking crash, that is. You don't want a spectacular-looking crash to be clear. In the meantime, while these drivers approach the end of their practice session, a little bit of a history lesson for Homestead, Miami, because, you know, why not? We already did a little bit of one for the IndyCar series and its role in the history of the Homestead Miami Speedway. But, of course, there is plenty more. So initially, the plan was for this track to be built in 1991. The original proposal was made so that the Grand Prix of Miami could have a permanent spot for, well, its home. It wanted a permanent venue instead of renting one. And the complex was intended to be built in 1991. A lot of failed proposals had gone through the city of Homestead, but finally, it was actually the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew that wooed Ralph Sanchez, the auto racing promoter, to build the complex within the city. And, well, he got it complete by 1995, which again was the rectangular quad oval, as it was referred to, which I will continue to say is one of the choices of all time. They adapted a more traditional oval setup in 1997 and would run that until about 2003. The reason for that is, they also had safer barriers and lights. So it was capable of becoming a night riding track in the 2000s. The reason was because initially the bankings were at about 6 degrees with the straights at a 3-degree banking. So it wasn't very exciting. And the fans wanted things to get a little bit crazier. And oh boy, they got it. In 2003, they would eventually get their wish, and the renovations would be made, setting the oval bankings to 18 to 20 degrees on the banking. We're going to come up to a turn now, and you're going to see that banking kick in. It is harsh. Uh-oh. Maybe a bit of a washout there from Schneider, and that's going to let a car get by. Which one is that? Who are we saying hello to here? Hello, Aiden Hill in the 27 car. As everyone will come to a stop and be sent back to the pits. Welcome to Homestead Miami. This is the track layout. At the top is your pit boxes, so this is somewhat backwards to what you might see in the iRacing overlay. Are you okay, bud? Are you okay? It was not okay. If you go back to that picture, the top section would be the line in blue as your pit entry, and you basically do exactly the opposite for the pit. Well, actually, no, other way around. Blue is pit exit, red is pit entry. My apologies on that one. So we're just waiting for the cars to hit the grid. I believe we do have a couple drivers who have hit their outlap, and that is the case. Spencer Torrance has hit the wall. Not what we were looking for. How about Rodney Roberts? There we go. In the Vision Corsa livery. As gorgeous as it always is. And it's going to be a little bit quiet as some of these camera angles are quite far away from the cars. What's going on over here? Someone is popping off and needs to chill out. Oh, that's not good. A little bit of a stutter over that. I think we are going to run a full solo operation for today. If I do this. Who is this? Who are you? Couldn't tell you. Okay. Unheard. Unknown. That's not the important part. The important part is we are about ready for, well, to look at qualifying. So Rodney Roberts right now sits at 1/10. 3/10 rather behind Aiden Hill, who puts the first time on the board. A 25.306. More times are going to start flying in. Remember, this is the first flying lap, so you don't get the full power of these cars until really your second one, now that the speed is more settled in. And a 25.412 will show just that, extra 0.2 for Rodney Roberts. It's the top 5 drivers who will get the points. We're actually going to set something up and hope for the best right now. This may break something. Suboptimal noises. This may also not even work the way I want it to, so we're going to wait and see. Okay. We're definitely having some stutters. Roberts will come to a close as his times has finished up. Griffiths is already up to second position with a 25.311 now coming to the line in the second lap. And the time is 25.310. Not as fast as before, not in the practice session. So one more chance here. Trying to hug that inside as much as you can. Swing on out as you hit the straightaway, as it lets you turn your car a little bit less at the exit of turn 2. And then slowly go back to the inside for turn 3. Hug that inside all the way around. A little bit of a wobble. And the final time for Griffiths will be a 25:3:40. And so Griffiths will not be getting pole position for this race. Interesting. Oh, we are overloaded. Excuse you? You betrayed me. How dare you? Let's set this up as well. I don't know if this is going to work the way I want it to. We can hope. It's going to freeze for a little bit. That's okay. Should come back. Yep, it did. Good. All right. Plenty of time left in the qualifying session. We need to change around a few things because something is definitely wrong here. Okay. Perfect. This will be good. Okay. Pit lane, we can knock that out. Ah, we're missing something. Okay. Right. Not ideal right now. What can we do here? I think we might be able to duplicate this. We're about to get into the sauce a little bit. Quali question mark. I have to wait till the session ends, of course. So this needs to become... Okay, where are we at? Okay, let's set this to good. Okay, that's where it should be. Bit of a problem here. I think I would need to... Let me see here. Let me see what this does. Okay. So this is doing its thing, and I think we can actually let it do its thing at this point. We might be able to. We might be able to get away with it. We're going to try. But I need to turn this into a display capture, unfortunately. And that's a little bit too big. You are listening to a bit of the sauce take place at the moment. I'm very curious if this is going to work because I'm a little skeptical of it. Okay. We'll give it a try. We've got a few drivers still on the track at the moment. This is Vittorio Guilherme, currently running 16th. Right now, the final driver that has registered a qualifying time. We should have two more hit the track at some point. This will, in fact, be one of them, I think. Is this the backstretch? Might be. This would be the backstretch. Yeah, he's pitting. Okay. It's Matt Morgan. Guilherme picks up the pole position. So that looks to be a 25:242. My, oh my, what a lap. Still some more drivers hitting the track. We've got plenty of time in the session. This is Daniel Blanco, who is out there, and it looks like Blanco. Let's go to him. Does that disable him? Yes, that did. Okay. What director do this for now? What's actually funny is when I was setting up like a simulation race at this track, what I did was I didn't know how to set a lone qualifying, as it's called. And so the session was joint qualifying, also known as everyone was on the track at the same time. Oh, we've got freezes. We've got freezes across the computer. So we're going to need to really slim down the resources. We're actually... this is not ideal. Yeah, it's choking pretty bad right now. Oh, boy. Let me tell you, we're getting full usage out of this thing. What's happening? Why is this doing that? It's acting a little strange. Get rid of that. Close out a few things here. Is there anything else? I mean, yeah, that'd be good to get rid of, probably. I don't know. We're kind of at a, let's just hope it works, pretty much. That'd be good to get rid of, actually. Knock that out. We are still full usage right now. OBS is really giving this thing a workout. Holy cow. We may actually be overloaded right now. I wanted you to close down. Excuse you. Why are you Oh, that was the worst time for you to show up. Oh, boy. Sorry about that. That was... Oh, my... What are you doing? Okay, we're having problems right now. You need to fully shut down and get out of here. Oh, you are a problem too, probably. You're fine. This should be good. This should be enough. Okay. Hopefully what we have here will do. Apologies for that. It was a little worrying for a minute. Oh, hello. Come on, come on back. Still have a few more drivers on the track. This is Marcumini, who sounds like they are finishing up their section. Picking up 8th place. It is Guilherme, Hill, Griffiths, Nerton, and Schneider at the moment, and I believe that's how it's going to stay. As we have a quick look. Yep. Minute left in quali. Okay. That'll do it. The qualifying session has come to a close. And so we're going to wait to see if this works. Come on, baby. Hit me with it. I got to wait for it to ping, basically. Try to pull up the chat as well so we can all say hello. Making sure everyone's doing well. Come on. I got to wait like 1 more minute, basically, for this to test if it's even working, which it very well might not be. That'd be suboptimal, to say the least. Come on, where are you? There you are. I want to make sure all you beautiful people get seen and heard. Yeah, maybe later. Give me that chat. There we go. Actually, I want to go chat only for this, probably. I'm like constantly looking up to see, because my screen should go differently once we get this gridding process started. Okay, here we go. Come on. Come on. Once the gridding gets going, this should change, and I really want this to work. I've been excited to try this out all week. I really haven't had the chance to, though, as there we go. The weather's changing. The sun is setting. Folks, it's not nighttime quite yet. But we're going to get a nighttime race. Yes, it's working. Let's go. Welcome to the grid. It's Guilherme in P1 with Aiden Hill in P2. Guilherme will get the 5 points, Hill with the 2. The second row will be George Griffiths, followed by Joe Nerton, picking up 4 and 3 points respectively. Schneider and Blanco will be row 3. Schneider gets the final point in qualifying. Blanco finishing P6 with a 25.329. Fourth row will be Jimmy Sallow on the left and Marcumini on the right side. New driver Perret will hit the track on the left in row 5. Pollard will be to his right. This is Matt Morgan, the other newcomer, will be in P11 to start, and Adam Miller in P12 to get this race started. Brandon Farley will be joined by Clark. Is that another new driver? I believe it is. Welcome in, Clark. Good to see you. P14 is where you'll start. Rodney Roberts and Spencer Torrance will be row number 8. And then row 9 we'll see Brad Morath, and I don't remember who Duncan is. I apologize, good sir. That is row 9. And then the final driver, that is Austin LeBlanc. He did not qualify. He is not racing, so I don't know why he showed up. But anyway, that will be all for you. Thank you so much, buddy. And now it is time to get back to the track. That's not the... Okay, we need to actually change something there. We need this to do that. All right, perfect. So that'll be ready to roll in full capacity for our next event. As we are on the track, the pace lap has begun. The first IndyCar race to ever take place on this track was back in 1996, as it was Jimmy Vasser who would take the victory in that event. It would then go, that was in the kart series, the Champion Auto Race Teams series. It would then become the IRL IndyCar League in 2001. And the final race would take place in 2010, as it was Scott Dixon in first, Danica Patrick in second, to kickstart her NASCAR career. And after that, we hadn't seen Homestead Miami in the IndyCar sense in 15 years. We have Formula E that's on its way through. And now the Prodigy Racing Association gets its first taste of Homestead, Miami. We round the final bend. It's 60 laps on the board. It's a pace car heading off, waiting for the flag. We are Green Flag Racing at Homestead, Miami. And as we get started, it's a good pull from both the front row, but the second row is immediately split off as Schneider is ducked on into the lower lane. Staying on the outside for now is Aiden Hill, but he's stranded right now and doesn't have much help on the draft. So it'll be Guilherme with a great launch at the start. Under pressure from the behind, though. And who else? George Griffith's already trying to make a move on the inside. He's got Schneider to deal with, though, on his inside as well. Things already getting pretty tense as we'll have a look at Aiden Hill's on board. He's a little far back, watching this battle take place at Schneider. Guilherme Griffiths in front of him. Nerton and Blanco behind. A little bit of a caution flag has come out. And Guillermo Perez has crashed out. And the caution flag looks like it has waved already. And so the drivers immediately will come to a stop. Well, not a stop, but we will slow down as we will look at Guillermo Perez. Currently looking at his gearboxes, ended up slowing down. Looks like a driver got hit into the wall, and he ends up touching the apron, and that will spear him off the track. Can he avoid contact with anyone else? He can, but that spin out is enough to draw the caution flag. And there's the pace car, that's a Shelby Mustang, baby. All right, early goings. First 2 laps in the belt, and already we'll be going into a restart, and restarts will be all single file from here on out. So suboptimal start already, and that is what happens when you dip below the apron, especially when you have banking as harsh as 18 to 20 degrees. You have a good chance of spearing yourself off into the infield. He is lucky he didn't take anybody out with that. So thankfully, only one driver goes down. And will likely still get to race. I believe he's still out there. Guillermo Perez was the car we were looking at. And he is still out on the track, which is good to see. He's got Rodney Roberts right in front of him. 18 drivers on the docket for today, as this is the gearbox of Nerton. So let's kick this up in the air. Keep tabs on the pace car to see. I don't believe those lights are going to get abbreviated. We will be going around a couple times. Let's have a look. He's a little far back of the pace car. Good to get a little closer. Lights are out. Okay, good. So this should be the final turn before the pace car shoots off. And we will wait again for the green flag to wave according to iRacing. So one more lap. So that blue cone is the pit entry. So we're at turn 2. Here's turn 3. Everyone piling in. A couple early pit stops, it seems to be. I would imagine a couple of those could potentially be for repair, as we did see 1 or 2 cars hit the wall on that little incident. And yeah, the iRacing caution system can be a little finicky, as we mentioned earlier. That crash probably wouldn't result in a caution flag in the PRA system, as it's only 1 car who spun. But it did result in 1, and we will wait for the green flag to wave yet again. And we are green flag racing yet again. It is lap 3 of Homestead, Miami at the Homestead 90 for the IndyCar Series. It was a bit of a stagger 5 wide, and they'll crash on in. Schneider will have Guilherme close behind him. Guilherme had some help on the outside. Now Griffith's trying to cut on in, and he's got quite the overspeed. He'll jump to the lead by a car length, but slows down on the inside. Probably got slowed down, having to watch for the car on the outside. Schneider back in the lead, and Guilherme putting pressure on him. Guilherme forcing him all the way to the outside, and so Schneider will duck in. Has a car on his inside to worry about. That is Griffiths. And for now, they'll hold on nice and strong, nice and clean, as we're going to lap 6. Let's go a little bit further back in the pack. It's Brandon Farley we're looking at here in P10 with Matt Morgan behind him. Matt Morgan ahead of him, rather. Gaps are already starting to form. There may have been some clattering going on a few places up, so we'll keep an eye on this pack going on here as Guilherme is in front of Blanco right now. That's Nerton at the top of the track.
Blanco looking for some draft, but the thing with the Indy cars, it's a little bit different. You can't just bump draft for 12 years like you can with NASCAR cars, and even then, you got to be careful because that's a good old overheat waiting to happen. That is a lot of overspeed on Joe Nerton's side, and he's already jumped up to third and is right into the back end of Griffiths, looking for somewhere to go. Ends up way wide out of the turn one. Full throttle at the moment, looking for somewhere to go. Schneider trapped on the outside, thinking that he's got the overspeed as Nerton, but maybe washes out a little bit too much. It's Griffiths in the lead now. And I think we're going to see a whole lot of position swaps today, as Nerton could be the next one. Nope, he lets up and will stay on the inside line. As we'll go a little bit further back, this is Andrew Clark we're having a look at. He's got Farley in front of him. Jimmy Sallow ahead of him. Jacob Schneider gets around Joe Nerton for now. We're going to see a whole lot of position changes this race as Vitor Guilherme has dropped three places from his qualifying spot. A little bit of wall contact there from Clark. And the same goes for, I believe that was not Adam Miller. No, that's Jimmy Sallow who had some wall contact. Adam Miller gets ahead of Clark here as we'll go up top. Let's get up high. Focused in on Aiden Hill, who's P6 right now. Blanco ahead of him. Vitor Guilherme has lost a lot of time and is already over half a second back of our top three. Schneider in second place right now. Griffiths in front, Nerton behind. Griffiths has to watch out on the inside. Schneider's there. Schneider's got the advantage for now. We got a crash going on to the back as someone's hit the wall hard. It looks to be Spencer Torrance and Brad Morath, who have had it bad. And the caution flag is back out. We are a sixth of the way through the race, our second caution of the day. And that front left tells quite the story as to why. We'll have a look at what happened here. We'll look at Brad Morath as we'll get up close to the roll bar and see what happens here. So Morath on this inside has a car ahead of him, and obviously needs to be careful of that. Oh, crashing in from the outside. Was that Polliard? I believe so. Let's get another look at that. This is Polliard we're looking at. And that doesn't give us the best angle. What else do we... Let's try this one. Just crashing back in from turn to straightaway and ends up clattering into Morath, who gets Torrance as well. And yeah, that'll bring out a caution flag any day of the week. And I don't think that car's reversing. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, good. Got to be careful on your exits out of those turns. It's difficult enough in the stock cars, and those things don't exactly turn. So another pace car on the track as the lights are blaring, and the lights are starting to dim at Miami. Oh, this is Homestead. Thankfully for the drivers, no rain is forecasted all the way till way after the race session is scheduled to end. This is time limited, of course. 2-hour session. It's an hour 20 for the race. Right now looking at Joe Nerton, who holds the fastest lap on the board. 25.222. As Robert seems to be falling back. Andrew Clark catching up with the crowd. So for now it's Schneider, Griffiths, Nerton, Guilherme, Blanco, Hill, Marcomini, Morgan, Sallow, and Duncan, Marlo Duncan, for our top 10. Is that the... Yeah, that's the only Duncan. Wow, I really missed that. Okay, good one. Well done, Tom. Well done. Excellent work. Looks like we're okay now. We are overloaded a little bit. I think our CPU is just like very... Yeah, we're going to turn that off. I think that's going to help us out. Immediately, usage dropped by 5%. Yeah. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, replay buffer. Let's maybe look...
We're not going green. Not going green.
Not going green. The caution has been extended. At least that is my understanding of it. We're at lap 14 now. Again, caution laps do count which is why the green-white checkered is an option. The main way to tell if we're going to go green is the lights on the pace car. At the top of the car, you can see the yellow lights that are swinging back and forth. When those lights shut off, it is 1 to go. And the lights have now, nope, they're still there. The red bar was fully covering it. And that sound you're hearing is a car getting the wave around. Or is that the lucky dog? I don't know. As Roberts is catching up to the pack. Can we not have that one? There we go. That's a little bit better. Right now, race control is having some chatter about what's going on. Welcome in, everyone. 11 of you in here today. Great to see all of you. Very appreciated here for the support of the Prodigy Racing Association. Should be going green pretty soon. Yeah, the lights are out. And as we just pass the pit entry cone, this will be the final turn before the pace car hits the pit lane. Jacob Schneider, your leader. Looking to hold that lead. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do something. Here we go. This will be good. Okay, perfect. I have exactly what I need. Good. Pace car goes off as we wait for the lights. Green flag racing. We are back underway. Jacob Schneider gets a pretty good jump on Griffiths, but now is going to need to hold off all the pressure with Nerton and Guilherme close behind. Guilherme had a lot of lost time after the problems that he had earlier, but now gets the catch right back up and get in the fray. He's already up to third position on the inside as Schneider will be under pressure from Griffiths. A little bit further back, this pack goes all the way back to Aiden Hill in sixth position, who looks to dive into the inside of Daniel Blanco. Doesn't quite have the speed to get alongside him just yet, but maybe can catch up to him on the straightaway. Not yet. He'll duck in behind for the slipstream for now. Meanwhile, a little bit further in the pack, we've got Sallow here in ninth position. He's got a little bit of distance with Matt Morgan in front and Marlo Duncan behind. Griffiths, though, looks for a move, goes hard to the outside, trying to hang on to it. And at least stays out of trouble, but won't get the chance to make the jump on Schneider. Nowhere near the race that we had at Kansas. A whole lot of lead changes taking place here. Currently held by Schneider. Lap 30 will be our spot to see who gets the extra 5 points. No stoppage of the race will take place. You simply note who had the points, and you call it a day. Schneider still holding on to the lead for now as Griffith's having trouble on that outside, and he's going to be under a lot of pressure as Joe Nerton is rumbling down that outside lane. And he's got help from behind in Daniel Blanco. Guilherme again is losing speed. I don't know what's going on with his car, but he cannot keep up with the front pack. As he and Hill are having a good battle right here for P5, but Guilherme just cannot catch up. Unsure exactly what's going on there as we stay focused in this front four. Griffiths still looking for that lane, just is going to duck into the slipstream for now. He's on the outside for now. Careful. Guillermo Pere gets 15th, battling with Torrance. As now Griffiths alongside should at least be able to extend his nose out and take the position. No, he can't. Interesting. Schneider holding on to it for now. And maybe settling into a rhythm, and the gaps are starting to form. Adam Miller back here in 11th. A second. Oh, that's a car that's hit the wall hard, but he's still going. I believe that was Roberts who may have hit the wall. Regardless, it's now Joe Nerton who extends his way to the lead, but having to go to the outside means he loses a lot of speed and needs to be careful not to touch the wall. So the lead goes back to Schneider, and Nerton gets dragged on the wall, nearly collides with Griffiths. They are side by side and very nearly collided. but thankfully very nearly means they didn't. It's a near hit, but no hit. As washing out a little bit of Schneider, he loses speed. Griffiths should have the edge. Oh, that's a front right that started to clatter a little bit for Nerton, and he lost quite a bit of speed. That car may be damaged in the front right. As Guilherme gets alongside, nearly clips into the back left. He hangs onto it for now, and the caution flag has come out, as you can see behind. A crash there with Matt Morgan, that looks to be. And that it is. And I believe that was a solo crash, and he'll need to go into pit lane. And the meatball is up. Nerton has a meatball as well. He will be required to go to pit lane. And that could really mess with his strategy and how he wanted to go about this race. Again, if you see on the top left of your screen over in the scoreboard, the black and orange circle flag means you have repairs that are you have damage that is required to be repaired. So he and Morgan have to go to the pits. They'll have plenty of drivers joining them. As we'll get another look at the crash here, let's get a nice angle here with Matt Morgan. Did we just have another one? We may have had another crash. So what happened here? Car's turning. Oh, and he just spins out on the turn and hits the wall hard, and that ends up resulting in a caution. Thankfully, all the drivers getting around him without a problem, but still the caution flag comes up, and Morgan will drop down to 14th. He's going to need to slow himself down here really quick. Never mind, the rest are in pit lane. So it ends up a bit of a blessing in disguise for Morgan, who will now slow himself down as he reaches the pack. It's Guillermo Perez in front. There's a lapped car in between Morgan and Perez. I believe that is not Salo. Salo is currently not registered as being on the track. He's registered as a DNF, and that may change later on. Hopefully that does. Would be a shame to lose the driver. As George Griffiths now holds the lead with Daniel Blanco behind him. We're in lap 24 out of 60. Now 25. And the lights have gone off, so this will be the final time around with the pace car. And we'll be ready to go green light racing yet again. Green flag racing just sounds better, to be fair. So, another history lesson. Homestead Miami, mostly known for its NASCAR offerings in the Xfinity, Craftsman, and Cup Series. The Xfinity Series got its first start, the first ever race at Homestead Miami, the Jiffy Lube 300 back in 1995. For the Cup Series, though, they wouldn't get a race until 1999, where it would be Tony Stewart getting his first victory at Homestead Miami, and he would follow it up with another one the next year in 2000. Your most recent winner at Homestead Miami in the NASCAR Cup Series, Kyle Larson. We'll make sure to keep an eye on more IndyCar-based history as well for a little bit of trivia here at Homestead Miami. But for now, we're green flag racing, baby. Let's get back and rolling. Homestead Miami. The Homestead 90 here for the Prodigy Racing Association. Schneider's got a ways to go to catch up with the pack as he was stuck behind two lapped cars, one of which was especially behind the rest of the pack. He's currently 0.8 down with Hill close behind. In the meantime, Guillermo Perez sitting in third, close behind Blanco, who looks to have an edge on the outside. It's not there just yet, so he'll duck in behind. The best bet that Schneider has at the moment is maybe getting a little bit of help with this car in front. This is Pollard. Maybe getting a bit of a draft from him so that Schneider can then slingshot himself towards the rest of the pack. But the problem is, it's not working in his favor right now. He is losing time to Perez, who himself is having trouble keeping up. So Matt Morgan battling with Rodney Roberts right now. So keep an eye on Vitor Guilherme. Well, someone hit the wall and had to swing out. Luckily, all is good for now. As Torrance battling with Schneider for P4. Watch it. Well done by Guilherme. Good reaction. We'll come back to the front as we're approaching the halfway mark of the race. And remember, 5 extra points goes to the leader. And right now, the leader is still Griffiths as Blanco doesn't have the speed to get past him. Blanco trying to steal those 5 points away, maybe even a little bit more. Hanging on the outside, maybe looking for a side draft. The beginning of lap 30. Yeah, he's looking for a side draft, all right. But Griffiths is maintaining that lead. That inside line, he is hugging it as tight as he possibly can. Trying to get to that outside as Blanco. He's getting alongside. He does not have the overspeed, and so Griffiths will lock in the 5 extra points and will be nice and happy to get the bonus points on the board. Now the question is, can he hold on to the race lead, especially with the pits that came through? He'll need to pit later on as he has yet to hit pit lane. He and Blanco is a little bit of wall contact yet again, and a blink or two in the back as we'll go a little bit further back of the pack. Guillermo Perez sits about a second behind the top 2. This is Marcumini we're looking at with Aiden Hill on the inside. A little bit of wall contact maybe. Marcumini still holds the overspeed and holds the position for now. P6. Spencer Torrance in front. A little bit of that slowdown, which you need to do on this kind of track. It's not a super speedway. You can't be... Oh, I thought that was a car sliding. It was not. We've got a few team liveries that are on the track. This is Marlo Duncan's car. I don't think that's a teammate behind him. Let's have a look. And who is that behind him? That is, in fact, not. Joe Nerton is in his own little world. As we were told, there would be a special livery that will be hitting the track at some point for the Indy races. We'll get to that one in a later time. Blanco trying to extend his nose ahead of Griffiths. He just can't get out there. Really struggling to get a hold of that lead is Blanco. Is up quite a few spots alongside Spencer Torrance, who's up to 5th after starting in 16th. But right now, everyone wants trying to get a hold of Griffiths, who got those 5 extra points and does have points on the board for qualifying. There we go. And Griffiths, wow, that's an advantage. Already just pulled 0.3 of a second. And when you're in oval racing, that 0.3 can extend big time. Your draft suddenly loses a lot of its potency when the gap gets, well, tripled effectively. And really struggling at the moment is Guillermo Perez. 1.1 back of Blanco. Schneider behind him. Torrance, Hill, Guilherme, Marcumini, Duncan, Nerton, your top 10. Because now the gaps have really started to form and everyone is mostly in single file. Everyone's just trying to survive and make their way towards the final 10 or so laps. And then the spice kicks in. That's when you get to see the moves go. Oh, watch out there. Nerton on the apron.
The yellow flag.
And the yellow flag has come out. It looks like it's Daniel Blanco, who is in the wall. And that car is mangled. As he comes back on the track, let's get a better look at what happened here. Trying to gain up some ground, and he ends up spinning out. That is hard to read. Let's get another look from the roll bar. Let's really slow this one down. So he goes up top and then tries to crash back down, and it just seems that turn to the left was too harsh and loses complete control of his car and slams into the wall, and that brings out the caution flag. So it'll be Griffiths, Perret, Schneider, Torrance, Hill. And the wave around is going through. I don't know what driver that is. Now here he comes. It's Brandon Farley. Currently standing in 18th position. Safe to say has not had the best of races here today. He'll catch up and now be right behind Jimmy Sallow. Just gotta be careful when you catch up to them. So we're in lap 40 of 60. And there's the big slowdown here from Farley as he'll catch up with the group. Whoa, is he getting another one? What's happening here? I believe he is being told to pass all these drivers. Is he going around again? That looks like it. That's the front. He's going around again, and he's got company. This is Brad Morath, who's joining him around the bend. So Brad Morath will now be on the lead lap, and Farley will be on the same lap as Pollard, Sallow, and Farley. Farley on the same lap as Farley. Congratulate. This is the top-level analysis you came for, clearly. I believe Griffiths has gone to the pits, and so Guillermo Perret will be in the front. And yes, Griffiths did go to the pits. Marcumini and Blanco also took the pit stop. And Griffiths ends up with a black flag. Now, hopefully we'll get info on that later, but that may have just destroyed his race. As we'll have to wait and see exactly why he's got that black flag. I believe it's pit entry. I think the lights have gone out, so this pace car should be ducking off as we go around the final turns. Is that a car heading to pit lane? No, Griffiths is still in the line here. Pace car is off. Let's focus on the front of the pack. We're back to green flag racing at Homestead, Miami. Schneider tries to get a quick jump on Guillermo, but it's not going to work for now. Everyone's just going to duck back in. As Guillermo Perret may actually be a little bit slow, and Schneider's going to get the jump on him on the outside. Torrance tried to run the inside, but it didn't work for him. And now Schneider's already pulled alongside. That nose is ahead, and he'll take the lead. And Guillermo will immediately shoot on up the outside, but still trying to stay into it is Guillermo Perret. He can't hold on to it. He doesn't have the speed. Schneider shoots up to the front. Victor Guillermo will take up second place. Torrance right beside him in third. Joe Nerton in fourth. Aiden Hill back here in fifth. Marlo Duncan sixth, and Perret has already fallen back to seventh position. I'm not exactly sure what's gone wrong with his car, but he's clearly lost some time as Brad Morath has got himself a caution flag out. And that's because he's entering the track, and it looks like Farley may be in the same boat. Farley is needing to get off the track as he's got some problems with his car. And another caution flag has come out, and it looks like this is Joe Nerton. Yeah, that's and it took out Schneider too. What happened?
This is Joe Nerton we're following on the outside. Ends up in the wall trying to give space, and it crashes him back down. And I think Schneider's spin may have been independent, but he still ends up with a crash. So let's get another look with the Nerton crash first. So he's on the outside trying to give Torrance some room. Maybe understeered a little bit, if I had to guess. Like, perhaps overestimating? I don't know. That's hard. And Schneider just ends up sideways as well. And unfortunately for Nerton, he just doesn't have control and clips one with him. Nearly took out another as his car was spearing across the side. Let's go to Schneider here. Schneider was here in the lead. Did he get clipped? No, that just looks like a good old-fashioned slide, but he may have gotten clipped. So let's go to that one again. Same view, but this time we're going to go back a car. Vittorio Guglielmi. Did he clip him? Oh, that's hard to tell. Maybe? One last look. One last look. And we're going to slow this down. Keep an eye on that tire. We're going all the way slow, so you can get the best possible chance to see if this is true contact. So Guillerme is here on the inside, still there. He's gotten his tire alongside Schneider's, pretty much by his door. It's pretty close. Now it's tire to tire. And that's hard to tell from my perspective. From what I'm seeing, he's going around anyway. That's hard to tell. My eyes say that Schneider was going around. But regardless, we've gotten word from the black flag for George Griffiths passing the pace car before pitting. And you cannot do that. You have to stay behind that pace car, even if you're going to the pits. And Griffiths, he's still in the race, though. These caution flags have helped him out quite a bit. He's up to 7th position now. And so he may still be in this fight. Schneider very well could be as well with that faster pair, as you can see him in the back there. Well, that's not. No, that's a different driver. That's a 7 at the end. It's not Farley. What else do we have? Mark Meany, Aiden Hill. That maybe is Schneider? I can't quite tell. What I can tell you is we're about to go green again. We got 15 laps to go in this race. Vittorio Guglielmi will kick us off. They'll have Marlo Duncan behind him, Aiden Hill in 3rd. It's Andrew Clark who's moved on up to 4th. Waiting for the green flag. And we're back underway. George Griffiths still actually has the black flag, so he's got to serve that at some point. But for now, it'll be Vittorio Guglielmi who has the start. Everyone's going to show his caution. We're back underway. And Guglielmi got one heck of a jump. He's already 3/10 of a gap has formed. But everyone's closing in on him quickly. As Marlo Duncan on that inside is going to look to try and sneak on by. Vittorio Guglielmi will immediately duck into that inside lane and cut him off. Schneider trying to catch his way back up. He's already gotten up to 9th position. And George Griffiths, I think that's him in pit lane. That it is. And he'll have to serve the black flag. But for now, we'll focus on the track because we've got plenty of action across the board. Guillermo Pere under pressure from Schneider, gets back ahead of him from P9. He's looking at Rodney Roberts trying to sniff that P8 spot. And there's a big crash into the wall. Blanco has hit the wall again, and that's a huge collision. In the back of this pack, trying to maybe catch up. What happens here? Good old spinnerooning. Good old spinneroonie, and my goodness, that is a violent collision and narrowly avoids. I think that's the car of Farley. Oh my goodness. What a collision. Oh, that's brutal. You know what else is brutal? George Griffiths will not be getting the wave around. Because it's Blanco right now who's the first car lap down, but it's going to go to Brad Morath. Griffiths will be passing people. And so Blanco will have to go in for mandatory repairs. We're going to look to see. I think it's going to be Brad Morath who gets the jump. Torrance putting in the chat, so much fun. Hello, Torrance. Good to see you. Yeah, Torrance not having the best of races. Was off to a good start, but has now fallen 5 laps down of the leader. So, and that it is. Look at that. It's Brad Morath who gets the wave around. And Griffiths will be trapped a lap behind in an uphill battle here from P13. Marlo Duncan now leads the pack. Behind him will be Hill, Matt Morgan, Matthias Marcumini, Adam Miller, Andrew Clark, Rodney Roberts, Guillermo Perez, Jacob Schneider, and Vitor Guilherme, who has dropped to 10th position. What happened there? He went to the pits. Some of these drivers, that may not have worked for him. Although I don't know if Guillermo Perez and Jacob Schneider are going to be able to survive. It's going to be tight. As we're in lap 50, they're on their 44th lap out there, as they pitted on one of the early cautions. The lights are out on the pace car. So I believe just 2 more turns, and we're getting back. No, we're just out of turn 1, so this is going to be a little bit of a while. But this is the final lap under caution, as Blanco had to take the toe no left, so that car is likely done for the day. Some brutal collisions have been taking place on the track, and you hate to see it, but it is sometimes the nature of these oval races. They can be quite violent. Just check up on everyone here. Welcome in, everyone. 14 of you in here. Welcome, all of you. Good to see you. A little bit more trivia here from Homestead, Miami.
Green.
Nope, forget that. We got a green flag race we got to watch. It's Marlo Duncan in the lead, Aiden Hill in second, Matt Morgan in third, trying to battle for the win, as right now their main focus is going to be George Griffiths way back here in 13th position. He'll get by Paul Earn, and he's got another car on his outside, and he'll get by him just fine. Brad Morath now in the lead pack, and he's already fallen down a second and a half behind Guilherme because he's got a lot of lap traffic to sort through. Guilherme, in the meantime, looking to get out of P10 and catch up to the lead pack, which is currently 10 strong right now, actually. All 10 of these drivers bunched up within half a second of each other. Adam Miller trying to catch up to the front 4, with Marcumini sitting at 4th position. Our focus will be this top 3, though. Duncan, Hill, Morgan. We got 8 laps to go here in Homestead, Miami. Hill will duck in behind for the slipstream, trying to snag as much speed as he can, go to the outside. May have washed out a little bit too much with that understeer. Ducks right back in, with Matt Morgan having to be careful of his movement. Now goes back to the outside, does Hill, as he looks to get some overspeed. There's nothing, absolutely nothing he's got. And now the pack is bunching up behind him. Rodney Roberts looking for a move on Adam Miller. It's got the inside line. He's going to try and take it. Has the overspeed, maybe. He's past him for now. Now looking to keep this rolling on the inside. He's got it. It's Jacob Schneider will get in front of him, but he's got plenty of speed to work with. Andrew Clark right now about a second back of the pack as Jacob Schneider gets by him. It's Aiden Hill right now, who's 2/10 behind Duncan. Marcumini has fallen back to about half a second behind as Morgan has to trapped behind him, trying to make a move on him. On the outside for now, still looking, still trying to find some room. But Marcomini has the speed on this inside lane and cannot get by. That's the state of Morgan. 6 laps to go here. Make it 5 in here at Homestead, Miami. Marlo Duncan with a lead in the race of 0.2 per second. Aiden Hill's got plenty of work to do if he wants to catch up. Vittorio Guillermo is up to P8 right now after getting past Guillermo, and now has Rodney Roberts to get past. He's looking at a way to get around Andrew Clark, can't quite do so. Jacob Schneider here, half a second back of Matt Morgan, and I don't think that's changing anytime soon. Same goes for Mark Tomini to Aiden Hill. So our focus remains in the top 2. Got to be careful there. That was Guillermo Perez, who was looking a little bit squirrely, looking for somewhere to go. Goes on the inside, has no speed to work with. Vitor Guillermo will get by him. This may be 3 wide. Got to watch out as we start to bunch up. Rodney Roberts in the middle of it. Guillermo needs to go to the outside, and he will just fine. Let's stay focused on this front section here. Let's go to Marlo Duncan. Thank you very much. It's him and Aiden Hill in the front as the 2 of them continue to battle it out with no pressure on either of them for now. Mark Humidi the closest thing to it. Jacob Schneider trying to battle up the pack and get up to P4. Matt Morgan, the one in front of him. Right now it's Schneider on the outside. He doesn't have the room to work with. Might have the overspeed here with the draft. He's going to look for somewhere to go. Wants to go to the outside. We got a big crash behind him. And we've got a caution flag. That's hit the track. Vitor Guillermo has ended up in a big one. And if I had to guess, that's going to lead to a green-white checkered flag. Now, what happened here? So it's Vitor Guillermo on this inside. He's a little bit on the apron. And he spins trying to catch a hold of it. Overcorrects and front end slams into the wall. And lucky for him, he vanishes. So let's look at that again. So he's on this inside lane. Watch the front left tire. You'll notice it duck just onto that white line. And that can be enough to upset the car, but that's not the initial part. He ends up extending over into the apron with a car on the outside. And maybe a little bit of overcorrection. He starts, a little bit too much to the left and hooked it too hard to the right. Bang into the wall he goes and then vanishes. And with the pace car on the track, we're going green-white checkered. Is that the... Yep. Oh, there's the lap extensions. We're on lap 60. 2 more have been added. 3 to go. Aiden Hill in second. Mark Humini in third. Morgan, Schneider, Clark, Perez, Roberts, Marath, Miller, and you just watch George Griffith zoom on by. He gets the wave around, but he'll be trapped behind the lap traffic. That's Pollard who will head on out, and Guillermo is gone. That may have been an Alt F4. And I think it was. Blanco still in pit lane for the repairs. Yeah, he's not leaving. He's not leaving. Simple as that. He's done. So, that car's done. We gonna add another one on the board? We're getting the green-white checkered, I know that much. Is this overtime? Maybe. It may stay 3 to go, though. Let's see. I'm not the most familiar with oval rules. Nope, 2 to go. And the lights are off. Okay, it is 3 to go. Never mind. It stays 3 laps to go under green. And this will be it. Once this race gets back underway, you go to the end. Maybe you finish under caution. Happens. Hopefully that won't be the case. Unfortunately, unable to get the race report. As we will go to, let's have a look here. Homestead Miami has been home to many a series in its past, not only about the IndyCar series, as we mentioned before, as well as all the NASCAR series. It's just picked up the Miami E-Prix, which will be taking place this year.
It was home to the Rolex Sports Car Series for the Grand Prix of Miami in 1998. Then from 2000 to 2012, the Ferrari Challenge in North America across a whole number of years. FR Americas, the Trans Am Series, at the FIA GT Championship, and the AMA Superbike Championship. Enough about the past. On to the present. The Prodigy Racing Association is having a green-white checkered flag as we are green flag racing at Homestead, Miami. It is 2 to go as Aiden Hill is right into the bumper of Marlo Duncan. He doesn't get nearly the jump he had last time, and Mark Humini is not too far behind him either. Matt Morgan now on the inside. They're going to have to be careful here as everyone's starting to bunch up. Matt Morgan's got the overspeed, and they've got pressure with them as well as Andrew Clark has joined the fray. Watch out not to hit the rear left. He ends up a little bit squirrely and has to fall back to stay in control of the car. Jacob Schneider will hold on to 5th right now. Aiden Hill looks for a move, wants to go to the outside as we are on the final lap. It is white flag racing at Homestead, Miami. Ducking into the behind of Duncan is Hill. Schneider on the outside has gone up to 3rd, looking to hold on to that spot as we're going to get way up close and personal here. For now, we stay with Schneider. He'll go to the outside, looking to cut off Marcomini, and that gives some room on the inside for Matt Morgan, looking for the overspeed, and immediately loses it all. Checker flag is out. Marlo Duncan, your winner at Homestead, Miami. It's Hill, Schneider, Marcomini, Morgan, Clark, Perret, Marath, Roberts, Griffiths as your top 10. Miller, Polliard, Salo, Farley, Guilherme Blanco, Torrance, Nerton. To round out your racers for today. Woo-wee, what a way to end it. Marlo Duncan, starting in the back of the pack, will now sit at the finish line and will start the spin. Welcome to Victory Lane, Marlo. And this is a huge boon for him in the standings. We mentioned at the start of this broadcast, with Griffiths at a 38-point advantage to Duncan, it would need to be a big weekend to start chipping away at that lead. 45 points for the race win. And while it could also just be equal to Griffiths given the extra points that Griffiths picked up, but nonetheless, Duncan, 45 on the board, is gonna feel good. Again, Aiden Hill and Jacob Schneider, your top 3. We'll wait to get everyone into this setup. As that is Aiden Hill. Good. We did have that correct. As we wait for Jacob Schneider to hop on in so we can grab him. He is here, and I do believe that is our race winner awaiting. That it is. Okay, let's get everyone on the board. We're going to watch a bunch of the race as we go through. Let's go from Schneider. Let's bring him in. Welcome in, Jacob Schneider, your 3rd place finisher here for the Homestead 90. A very chaotic race, a whole ton of caution flags. What was your strategy to try and keep yourself in the race as long as you could?
I would try to just keep track position. I led a good bit there at the beginning, and I pitted right at the window to make it on fuel. And it netted me the lead, like after halfway, and I thought once I got the lead, I'd be able to control it, but I just got I got wrecked from behind. Just that's all there is. Someone made an errant dive bomb in turn 3, and he was never going to make it and wrecked us. But luckily we have a fast repair, and I salvaged a 3rd place out of that.
It ends up as quite the good result. Still going to be 39 points as a result of the race. So congrats to that. But yeah, it can be a little bit frustrating when those wrecks happen. What's a good way that you keep your mentality focused on the race and just keep yourself cool? What is your way of getting around that?
I mean, it's just a fun league. You know, there's some money on the line, there's some sponsors and stuff, but it's a fun league. So even if I was wrecked out, there's no fast repair. You know, it's no harm, no foul, really. There's no I rating, there's no safety rating, so you know, it would have been fine. But I just thought I'd played the strategy perfect, and then it got kind of taken away there. But yeah, like I say, 3rd place, still fine.
Still very happy with that result, you would say?
No, I want to win, but third is fine. Third's the second loser, so
That is
but it's
fair.
better than fourth.
That is fair, yes. Yeah, it is in fact better than fourth. Still on the podium. Congrats to you on that, and hopefully we'll get to see a little bit less of the caution flag as we head to the Indy Road Course next week, and hopefully we'll get to see the strategy in mind pay out in a better way next time around.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be all right.
Good. All right, let's bring in our second place driver. Of course, Schneider, if you want to stick around, hey, you want to have a chat with him, you're welcome to. Bringing on in our second place driver, Aiden Hill. Welcome on in. Congratulations on the second place finish. How did it feel out there on the track with all the caution flags waving around?
Dude, with every single caution, the tires kept getting colder and colder and colder, and with how drafting is here, it's so tight. And if you don't have your weight jacker set, or you don't have any roll bar set right, the car just refuses to turn. But I mean, other than that, it was also helpful.
That is very fair. We did see a couple cautions come out as drivers were losing control, especially on the exit of turns. Maybe just a little bit too much of a slide, pushing it a little bit too hard. How do you try to keep that steering as intricate and as small of differences in your wheel position as you can? Is it just practice?
It's a lot of practice, and then it's also a lot of like the oval mentality of keeping it as high as you can, and then going into the corner, bringing it as low as you can, and whatever gravity wants to do, you just let the car do it at that point, and that lets you kind of keep the car at a very slight angle so that you're not, flicking it too hard.
Right, yeah, we did see a couple flicks and a bit of an overcorrection send one of the caution flags out. Overall, would you say that you're satisfied with the result here today?
I am, yes, absolutely.
Understandable. Well, congratulations for the 40 points here. You also get some points in qualifying, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be good to help boost you up in the standings. And speaking of a boost up the standings, we're going to bring in our winner for this race. Welcome on in our winner. It is Marlo Duncan who gets the victory here today. Welcome in, Marlo, and a big congratulations. We saw quite the turn of events throughout the course of this race, picking it up with 3 to go on what will look to be a green-white checkered. Are you satisfied with the way that the race played out? Are you happy with the way that you won today?
Oh, definitely. A win is a win, especially when you go from last to first. That's the best way to do it.
Fair enough. Of course, there were plenty of caution flags along the way. What was your best way to try and chip away at those positions bit by bit every time we saw the yellow hit the air?
On restarts, there wasn't really much I was doing. I definitely, in the earlier stages, was kind of running what I call the Thomas Schechter line, which is just running as high as you can in the corners to build up momentum. And that seemed to work, but
the classic qualifying strat. Yes, I'm very familiar with that. Ride it high, crash down low on the straight. Yep.
And then kind of once I got to the lead, the track had cooled off, so it was just kind of run the bottom and they can't get by you.
Yeah.
So it was.
We did see quite a bit of that. Aiden Hill, expressing a little frustration, I would imagine, trying to get by. But especially with all that pressure, how do you keep yourself under control and stay calm while Aiden Hill is running for his life to catch you?
I definitely got to thank my crew chief Brian Young for keeping me nice and calm in the head during that.
Ah, yes, the crew chief buff, of course. Well, a big congratulations to you, and we've got quite a bit of an event coming up, back-to-back actually, as we're headed to the Indy Road Course coming up next. So I want to actually hear from the both of you. I'll start with you, Schneider. How excited are you as we head to the classic IndyCar track for the next 2 weeks? Oh, we look forward to seeing you. How about you, Duncan? How excited are you for it? Good old school Indy action. You'll love to see it. Well, congratulations, Duncan, and we hope to see you perform quite well in our next 2 events. For everyone watching, Indy Road Course on September 30th and the Indy Oval, the classic IndyCar staple, on October 7th to end our first half of the season. Is there anything that either of you gentlemen would like to say before we head off for the night? Schneider, you first. Fair enough, and it's a pleasure to host the race that you can put on. And Duncan, for you? Maybe not. Maybe not. Ah, well. If you can't beat him, join him, I guess. Well, it's been a pleasure, gentlemen. And it's been a pleasure for all of you, everyone who joined us for today. This has been the Prodigy Racing Association. Next week's Indy Road Course, Indy Oval after that. This has been the Vision Corsa IndyCar Racing Series Tuesday Night Thunder. We come back next week with Indy Road Course. We hope to see you there.